it's the people involved in which makes this club so special, and that goes from the supporters being there for us when we need them, supporting us, cheering us on in our darkest days at Torquay. You know, they sold out behind the goal, and they were there cheering us on, and they thought, as we all did, that unfortunately we were going to get relegated at the end of that day.
How long have you been following Wycombe Wanderers?
Since I was 12 years old.
And that was?
I'm 63 now, so that's 51 years ago.
So I started supporting Wycombe Wanderers 93-94 season. So we'd not long been in the league at that point. We just got into the league, and I just left school at that time, and we were looking for something to do on a Saturday, and local football, it was appealing to us.
Coming up to 30 years now, so my first game was March of '92, so it'll be 30 years starting next year.
I've been following Wycombe Wanderers since I was 10. My family we've been in Wycombe all our life, so yeah.
My son likes collecting the autographs. He gets his shirt signed. They can run around and see the players when they're training before the game as well, and it's good. They like it down there.
You know, these nights are great. They're really special. We're that club with nothing to lose. We go up to the Etihad with nothing to lose. No one's expecting us to do anything. So it's a nice evening for us to go up there and really prepare properly. We're going up there to compete, but the lads can make some memories. The supporters can go to a stadium that they might not have visited. All our families get to see us in an elite atmosphere, an elite ground. And so these are the nights you really have to savour and make the most of, because the league is where you earn your wages. That's where your bread and butter, and that's what will help the club move forward. But these nights you can go and really make the most of it. And as a player, I always enjoyed the opportunity to test myself against the elite, because we all had dreams as a kid and aspirations during our career of getting to the top, and for some of us it didn't quite work out that way, but you get these opportunities to test yourself against the best.
It is about that social side of things, and that's the case again if you're supporting one of the top teams or whether you're supporting somebody in non-league. As we've seen during the pandemic, it's about what people missed out on was the social side of supporting a football club, and people want to go and make friends, meet new friends, and experience a day out. And it's almost that cliche of it's not the winning that matters, it's not the result, it's about having a club to support. So you've got a social group of friends that you can hang out with and you can go and have a few beers with, and then you can go and watch the game, enjoy the game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and then go home at the end of it.
We started going to the away games as well, and just everyone knew each other at the away games. We'd all sort of travel together, and there'd be the sort of regular groups of people that you'd travel with, and it was just a good atmosphere, and it was fun.
Yeah, we go all the way. We try and go as many away games as we can. This year I'm going to Doncaster. I've got a director's box in Doncaster we're going into. I'm going to Sheffield Wednesday because I went to I haven't been there for over 30 years since the Hillsborough disaster. I was there with Liverpool when Liverpool played Nottingham Forest, and it was tragic. And this will be the first time this year I'll been back at Sheffield Wednesday in 30 years. So it's going to be quite emotional for me. I was 28 at the time, and it was tragic, very tragic. I would never ever forget that in my lifetime. I didn't go to football for a long time after, at least 9 years. I gave up my season ticket at Anfield at Liverpool. As I say, I couldn't go anymore.
It generates a lot of money for the club, which is obviously important, especially for clubs at the lower league. But more than that, what you can't put a price on is those memories of those trips to places like White Hart Lane and Stamford Bridge and Villa Park, and to the Etihad as well.
Wycombe's always had a good following in away games and stuff. So, the coach is here.
good and a bad experience at the same time is obviously our survival from we nearly dropped out of the Football League.
April of 2014, we were playing Bristol Rovers at home. We were in a relegation battle and we lost to them, and that put us 3 points adrift at the bottom of the Football League with 1 game to go. And that was a horrible, empty feeling. We thought we were going to be relegated. And we were sort of staring into the abyss. We didn't know what would happen with the club. A lot of people think the club may have folded if we'd gone down. Whether that would happen, we don't know, but that was a really low point. But a week later, when we beat Torquay, we stayed up, and that was kind of one of the certainly the most emotional and the highest points. But I think that, in and of itself, that defeat to Bristol Rovers in 2014 was probably definitely the lowest I felt.
It's hard to describe because it was a near disaster, but it was actually one of the best moments as well, because at that point I'd been at the club for so long. It was my testimonial season. I'd been here 10 years, and I kind of knew what could potentially happen to the club if if we went down. The repercussions financially could have been really catastrophic. So the fact that we escaped that was actually really euphoric, because it meant that we could live and fight another day. And then there's massive thanks as well to Rob and Pete Couhig, who have taken this club from where it was and the financial implications and the limitations that we had at that time, and enabled us to not only win the playoffs but even compete in the playoffs because of what they did off the pitch, enabling the manager with the budget that he did for that season. So massive, huge thanks to them, which has really taken our club onto a whole new level. So it's been incredible.
One Thanksgiving, he asked me what I was thinking about doing. I mentioned League One, League Two football. He had no idea why. We talked about promotion, relegation. I guess the idea sort of caught hold, and I was still, just doing a lot of research, just doing a lot of watching a ton of matches, looking at different clubs, doing research. And out of the blue, Rob called me and he told me he had found our football club, and it was not Wycombe. It was a different club. Went on a due diligence mission down there. Deal kind of fell apart, but once it kind of became known that we were interested in a lower league football team, we had a few calls from different clubs, one of which was Wycombe. When we looked up where it was on the map, and we did have to do that, it was 25 minutes away from London, 25 minutes away from Heathrow, in the middle of a beautiful area. This was a dream job, because I always tell Rob, there's 2 things I love more, than anything but my wife and kids. I love business and I love football. And so the opportunity that Rob's just aggressive nature got us into has really been a dream opportunity. And, even though we had the highs of the highs, getting promoted that first year, it was unbelievable. And then the difficulty of the championship last year and getting relegated by 1 point, it's a crazy business, but it's a lot of fun.
We've been up and down in the leagues, League One, League Two, but I think obviously getting to the semi-final FA Cup against Liverpool, that was a high point. I think that was probably a peak.
What's true is that Wycombe put a call out on the club website. The internet was still in its infancy then, really, and it was on CFAX teletext as well. And somebody connected with Roy Essendon, maybe it was him, maybe it was his agent, then got in touch with the club. And Roy Essendon came along, didn't play particularly well in a trial, but Wycombe were desperate and Sanchez offered him a contract. He wasn't a particularly great player, but he was on a week-to-week contract at the time. He didn't really have any experience. He wasn't cup-tied. That was one of the stipulations. They just needed a striker, really. And drawing 1-1 away at Leicester. Leicester were doing well in the Premier League at the time. They beaten Liverpool a couple of weeks before. And he was thrown on. And then in the last minute, one of those sort of cult moments, not just in Wycombe history, but in FA Cup folklore, he came on and in the 90th minute rose to head in the winner to win Wycombe the cup tie and send us through to the semi-finals against Liverpool. He was on a week-to-week contract. He was then offered a contract till the end of the season, but it wasn't renewed, and that was the only goal he scored in professional football, which is quite remarkable, that sort of one moment.
It was an incredible season. To get to the semi-final, we beat Charlton, who were Premier League at the time, Fulham, who were in the Premier League at the time, drew 1-1 with Chelsea at Adams Park, and went to the Bridge and got beat 4-0. So it was an incredible season, and as a group of people, it really made us closer together. We enjoyed those experiences together, and I'm still close with a lot of that team now. So it was a great season, definitely memories for life.
But yeah, it means a lot. You know, that's why we're here today. You know, you come along and you want your team to do well. And yeah, we've played Premier League teams before, and they've beaten us quite comfortably. But you know, we've had some good results against Premier League teams in the past as well. And yeah, it's good to see your small team, if you like, beating or competing, competitively against the bigger teams. It's also for the small chance, the small percentage that we might just beat them. You know, when you get that result against these big teams, you know, you come away, you think, yeah, this is us, this is Wycombe Wanderers, and this is what we come for. You know, this is what we can do, just to sort of show people we're not just a little team that gets beat as soon as we come up against a strong opposition. Yeah, it's the hope. Everyone knows the odds, but it's just having that hope and that expectation that you know, we might just do it. You know, we can do it. We've done it before.
The club, I can see a rosy future, and I hope my own goes alongside that.
Supporters in any football club, they're the one constant. Managers come and go, players come and go, owners come and go, but supporters are the one thing that's constant. As I said, I've supported Wycombe nearly 30 years, and in that time people have come and gone that have played a bigger part in the club than I have, but I'm still here, as are many others.
Take me home, please don't take me home. I just don't want to go to work. I want to stay here. Please don't take me home.